This video is brought to you by DraftKings. You know all about Pick 6 by now, where you can pick more or less on different players' stats for the upcoming games. Just pick 2 or more different players until your pick set, decide more or less on some stats, and sit back and relax to see if you made the right decision. All right, man. So y'all know how this goes. I tell you about Pick 6. I put together a pick set for you. We maybe hit, we maybe don't. You know, and you make these decisions on your own accord. You feel me? Last time we did it, we had a theme. It was big fella Mondays. I know that don't rhyme or they don't have no alliteration, but it was big fella Mondays. I went boards and points for all the big fellas that played that night. Went more on a lot of them. Were we successful? I genuinely don't remember. We also have another thing this week, though. It is shooting guard Monday. Dang, we need something. Motion mover Mondays or something. I'll workshop it. Where I wanted to pick some of the shooting guards that are playing tonight and put them into a pick set. Now, if you look at your NBA schedule for this fine Monday afternoon, it's a light low. We only have 3 games. We have Kings versus Pacers. We have Suns versus Timberwolves. We have Spurs versus Pelicans. So we have a smaller group to put into our pick set, but I'd still pick something from every single game. The first thing I'm putting into my pick set today, again, starting with the shooting guards, Zach LaVine more on points versus the Pacers. The other night, Zach LaVine had a good old 40 ball. And I read a quote that I thought was NBA Centel for a little bit, where he was asked about his great 40-point game. And he said that'll happen more often if they gave you the ball. Now, I haven't audibly heard him say this, but it was reported. And then also reported on a reputable site. It wasn't just a Twitter quote. It was reported again on one of the big sites. I ain't heard it yet. Maybe they do give my boy the ball just a little bit more, because he had a game earlier this week where he had like 8 points. And you only could get 8 points and still be praised for it if you're LeBron. No, let me chill on my go. So yeah, more points on Zach LaVine versus the Pacers. Shout out to the Pacers, handing my Bulls another L the other night. Next, I wish we had some Devin Booker in this matchup versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, but we do not. Instead, we're going with Anthony Edwards more on points versus the Suns. The Suns are one of my favorite young teams, well, not young teams, just teams in general. They're not really young. Teams to watch in all the basketball, with Book, without Book, don't matter. They can hoop over there. But also that boy Anthony Edwards can hoop. So far in the season, it's 28 points per game, about 4 assists, and 5 rebounds. And now that makes me want to look at my notes from the first episode of this year, where we were doing the pick 6 and we were doing the season long. And I remember I went more on Anthony Edwards' season long assists. I think it was at 3.5. And right now he's averaging about 4. So far through a quarter of the way through the season, it looked like we hit on that one. But I went Anthony Edwards more on points. He will probably get a really tough defensive assignment. That's just the way it is. The Suns got a couple good guys over there that can really defend. But he also is Anthony Edwards, and I've seen him take over quarters just this week. And I think he can do that again against the Phoenix Suns. Usually, we have 4 into our pick set, but today we only have 3, as I'm going with Devin Vassell more on points versus the Pelicans. I've watched a ton of Pelicans as of recent because I really like Jeremiah Fears. I really like Derek Queen. I don't like the outcomes of their games. And I'm having a lot of fun trying to picture Herb Jones and Trey Murphy III on different teams. So I'm watching a lot of them, and I'm seeing them get blown up on the shooting aspect. Still no Wemby, so Devin Vassell is going to have another green light opportunity. A few nights ago, he had 4 threes in the first quarter in their matchup. So I just like his opportunity again to go more on points versus the Pelicans. How we feeling? How we feeling about the pick set? Zach LaVine more on points versus Pacers. Anthony Edwards more on points versus the Suns. Devin Vassell more on points versus the Pelicans. I feel good. And if we don't do good today, the next week when I make my pick set, I'm going to go less on a lot of stuff. What you think? You know, if you let me down, we going less the next time around. All right. When we come back, like I mentioned, there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of all NBA spots open. And we're going to talk about who's out and who could be in. For those who haven't checked out DraftKings Pick 6 yet, there's an exclusive offer waiting for you. Right now, new DraftKings customers can play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. All you have to do is download the Pick 6 app and use promo code ENJOY when you sign up. Pick 6 is available in most states, including Texas, California, Missouri, so don't be afraid to get in on the action. Ride the upside with Pick 6.